I've also lost 5 of my staff.
Let's just say this 1 week of maintenance didn't go as planned.
It looks like the movie Holes from above, doesn't it? Holes, who? I don't know, that was always shown to me in school. We've been working for 2 days already now, this is the 3rd day. Half my grass cutters have already decided to, well, one of them, since I got it, has been a bit weak, I'm going to take it back. The other one, just some issues with the starter and the mixing, you know, the mixing for the 2 strokes of the gas and 2T, sometimes that's not done exactly. So what I've done now is exactly mixed it at 25-1, so that's what you need. Some will say 18-1, but 25-1 seems to not break the machine, seems to make them go really powerfully. Those giant holes are where they're doing something called abri open puno, plant. So they're just opening up around the plants, give them space to breathe, you know? And it means the weeds don't try to encircle them and kill them.
It's a very small phone and a very large tripod. I'm so skinny. What's your secret to making me skinny?
Don't eat.
I thought you were going to say iPhone. But this one's actually, this is my first ever camera, but I'm passing it on to
Your beautiful wife.
my beautiful wife, the newest vlogger in town. No, not the newest, you've been doing it a while.
Yeah, I'm not just like...
Chillaxed.
I'm just-
Jazzy music. Then Lily appears and causes Samok. Off!
But Lily is much more vlogger than I do. That's
Lily
what I
is the
heard.
ultimate vlogger. She literally comes and turns my cameras on for me and then tries to film herself.
Yeah.
It's quite funny.
I didn't know that your action cam was turned on, because when I went inside the room, it was like it's running already. I thought it was charging, and I was like, "What did you do, Lily?" And then so I check it out, and that's when I found out that she already turned it on 5 minutes ago.
I grabby, she's filmed something, yeah. Wait, let's have a look.
The other one I didn't even.
Oh, look at her!
Daddy!
I never taught her to turn a camera on, but she's learned that in a vlog. That's hilarious. She's worked it out herself at like not even 2 years old.
Lio, man, good. Catboy backed us.
I'll come here because the worksman. This is done well. The thing with the grass cutters are you don't want to scalp the grass.
Naay, kuya na tao. Magbao ka. Magbao tanawon.
Pagong. Hi.
Ninja Turtles.
These ones here, a lot of them are dying here. One, the Hagonoid doesn't seem to want to die here. It's whatever we do, it just doesn't. 2, the position relative to the sun through the day, and 3, it's shaded, so that's something to accept. Yeah, these ones are all really small. If you see that, still alive just about. A lot of them are dead though, it's shady. So, always gets caught on camera, doesn't it? Calamansi's a sun-loving plant. So a few people asked before, why don't I keep the bananas, coconuts, other stuff like that? Because I can't. They'll, you shade the calamansi, they're not going to grow very well. They need sun. The good thing here is it gets the afternoon sun, which is the strongest, so they get enough hours. I saved myself pretty well there, didn't I? Don't climb down vertical slopes with a camera in one hand. It's a Daot idea.
So I took a walk around the whole farm to see the progress.
So this area actually does have a lot of water. There's a lot of groundwater here. I dug canals last time, which seemed to be somewhat intact actually. And then we randomly have this massive grass grown, which I'm going to get them to, that's cog on. I'm going to pull out by the roots so it doesn't come back.
At lunchtime, we went to check on one of the grass cutters that had been left at the mechanic. So instead, we went to get lunch.
Ah, Raman Devi. Oi, Siggy. Manderi, Siggy.
Go on. It's been a long time since I picked watermelons, but I remember sunspot and a dead stem. That's a mahulog siya. 5. Kulang ko. 75.
Straight from the farmers.
I'm hungry.
Because I've lost my man boobs, I've got to replace them.
Yeah, now you're pregnant
I'm
again.
pregnant. Yeah, now I am.
That's how Lily weighed before.
Oh, pila ka bulan?
Mao niya ang mga bagong mga amigo, taga Laak, no?
Taga Laak.
Mga cyclista. Yes. Pila ka oras gikan Laak.
1 hour. 1 hour.
So, gusto mo padagan eh?
Pero na in between rest. Pero nagabay ka. Or
Dugay pa. Dugay pa. Hayat pa ko.
And coming back to the farm after lunch, I was confronted with a surprise.
So we had 8 guys working. One of them told me he had fever and needed just half day. I said, okay, no problem. And then when I came back from lunch, 4 more had disappeared, but they walked. And that's like an hour or two's walking, so I don't really know what's going on. 4 of them didn't say anything, so I don't know what's happened really. So I guess I better use one of the grass cutters.
This was my job about 9 years ago when I lived in Darwin, Australia, but it seems like I've forgotten exactly how to do it. Yeah, these guys are gonna do a better job than me.
They're laughing because I cut kind of high. I mean, I was always taught 2/3 of the height. Sorry, 1/3 of the height. Cut off 2/3, keep 1/3. And also the strap was really high on me, so I couldn't do that without being a hunchback. So. But no, I don't mind actually. The most important thing is it's trimmed. It's like comfortably trimmed. The thing with this grass is there's lots of stuff underneath, so even more respect for them. They've got the level right down quickly and without much damage, so respect for that.
Yeah, despite of how many staff left, at least it's good. Moving forward.
I have no Ulan outfits, so I have to stay here and hide away. There we are. That's life. With my 3 loyalists, actually 5 loyalists. They had merienda. The others, don't know, got to work out this starting situation now. See how it goes tomorrow, eh? So last night they came here. One was hiding behind this post. None of the others actually wanted to look us in the eyes. The first one who showed up said, oh, it was hot. So decided at 12 noon to walk back home for an hour. I mean, I kept asking myself, what could bring 4 people to walk an hour home in the heat of the sun? I mean, there's been jobs I've wanted to walk off in the past, but I've actually been treated badly. And I kept asking myself, what have I done? What have I done? What have we done wrong? Really? I kept saying to myself, because, hey, they get paid above minimum wage. Normally a day's work is 8 hours. They work 7 hours. They get free merienda. Their rate is also increased because they provide their own food, as is standard. We give them all a lift to work. It's like 15 minutes away. And so the complaint from the first one was, oh, you're really strict with the hours. Oh, the journey there doesn't count. Bear in mind, when we're there, nobody's ready to go. It takes like 10-15 minutes to get going. And bear in mind, yesterday we started, because people took so long to get here, to ride the car there. Okay, we got there at about 7:20. Some started working at 7:25. Some of them, the ones who were complaining, started at 7:40. I don't know. Then the other complaint was, oh, someone shouted across the farm, when are you going to get back to work? They've been sat in the shade for 15 minutes. Oh, when are you going to... Because I let people take breaks when they're tired. I let people sit down in the shade for a while. It's human. I mean, we even tell people sometimes, hey, it's like every hour. It's like, please sit down for a few minutes. Hey, I worked on farms in Australia before. I never got any of that. Ever. And it's just... Even had the cheek to say, you won't find workers if you're like that. Even had the cheek to say, and this guy's been working for 3 days. I've been doing this the same way for 6 months. 6 months, no problem. No problem at all. But to actually leave after the boss has gone to lunch, to actually leave and walk home and not tell him anything, that says a lot about your character when you think someone's unreasonable enough. No.
But today, I've hired a family experience with CALAMANSI. So let's move on from that.
Dili kwaon ni. Dili no cutting.
English. Kantong bunga ibilin po.
Bilin. Dili ni po upahaon kay mahapdusan. Mahapdusan na ta kani. Dili ni sa pwede kwaon.
Mao ba?
Mahapdusan. Usay in English ug hapdos?
Haptos man, mong sakit no mo kalentura.
Kalenturaho na sila.
Ang bulak ibilin gyapon.
Para mo bundak mo na sila.
Background reading, usa cutting. Kay dili man tanan ang laya naman. Kana ba?
Kana ra.
Kana lang kwaon.
Kana.
Ato ila.
Kana asawa na kano.
Kana.
Dini kay daw sa kanay bunga. Pero kuha ni maning bunga, ngani kani sa dire paturo kaning mga dahon ngani.
Oo, sige.
Kanaw nga way bunga ngani mo kuha jud sa ngani. Kuha ni sa kanang baga na kayo. Kini pangaw ni kay para mo dahon ba? Kay mo dahon. Di man mo dahon kay na may bunga.
So I went into this thinking, actually I don't want to repeat the same mistakes as before. I thought I had everything planned out well. I thought I had the right guys in working on it who really were knowledgeable. But then I find out that what they say, no, they all worked in the same place. They say, no, that's not right. That's not it. But we can bring this back. That's the most important thing. We can bring this back. Some of these in this area, for example, it seems like they've hardly grown. There's a lot of people when you do this that claim to be technicians, experienced, so on and so forth. The reality, no. There's a lot of people who'll do that, but you gotta ride with the waves, you know. Gotta ride with the waves.
You should also remove the overripe fruits.
Maliit na bungon.
It's like a grapefruit already. So these are the ones you've got to get. It's like an orange. It is like an orange. Tiny, tiny orange. That's more what I compare lemon calamansi to. It's not really a tiny lemon or lime. It's more like a tiny orange. It's got the same flavour, the same sourness.
And now the work was going really smoothly.
Daot good. Ay bang mo na. Takoy mong payang eh.
Made in Philippines. Only in the Philippines. Hangak ang baboy.
So they're counting the dead ones. So, yeah, as I thought before, they weren't taken care of well enough. The focus in all of this was on the wrong things. The important thing of being here. Hey, I went away for 3 months. I made a big trip that I needed to make. But now I'm back and I have really got to just watch over this myself, you know.
After all, if I make the decision to not be here, I've got to take responsibility for what happens. because I wasn't able to say anything else.
Most importantly, though, we've got good people now. Got good people. Got people who really know. Oh, no, Maz. Okay.
Master.
Oh.
Sa limon.
So, these guys actually have some calamansi trees from around the same time. Definitely almost hit my head on that. Around the same time. So, let's see how theirs are.
That's 5 months, almost 6. Mga tinala ko sa inyo ha ganina nga. Kasi lang gamayan.
Yeah, dalawa ang
Oh.
yuta nila. Kuan ba yan ni? Kanang
Oh.
Spot the difference before and after.
So right now we're road widening. So they're making them wider. They really need a lot of space to grow, to breathe. Everything ends well in the end. Everything comes good. I've got to take responsibility. Because number one, I wasn't here for 3 months. I went away thinking that we have the right people in place. That's what I thought. And it turns out it wasn't.
I'd been told the first 3 months was just about keeping the grass short. There's not much else to do. And so I thought it was a better use of my time to let my wife and uncle be in charge of that while I made a 3-month trip, rather than watching grass grow. But I was misinformed, and I underestimated it, and it's my responsibility to correct that now.
To conclude, I didn't expect this video to end up like this. I don't want to make videos like this, but occasionally you've got to. Occasionally the way things happen are not entirely great and positive and happy. And that's life, right? That's life. The good thing about this is, in the end, we found actually there are good people there. There are knowledgeable people. There are people who really actually care about what they're doing and want to help you. They exist, yes. But there's a lesson through all of this that sometimes you have to walk through broken glass to get there. I think the experience of the last few years, especially with the fish pond, there's been all types of people who, I don't know, maybe they really believe that they're the greatest. Maybe they really believe that they're very capable. Maybe they really believe that they know what they're doing and they can really help me. Maybe they really do believe that. There's psychologists for those people, but there are some people that, yeah, they do this for their own ego. They don't want to admit they're wrong. They don't want to admit they don't know. They just keep going for years and years, doing the same thing. I almost didn't. It was grinding me down, and I wasn't sure why. And then, the day that they left one lunchtime, I went through phases, first of anger, how could they do this? And then also, questioning myself, have I treated them badly? Because that's what they wanted me to believe. They were treated so badly, they just had to walk 1 hour back in the full sun. That's what they wanted us to believe. And even in the evening, they said, trying to say, the first one was, you're so strict with the time. You only start the time when we start working here. It should start at the start of the commute here. Huh? What? Which I've never heard before, and neither has anyone else. The same people who will pick up a grass cutter for the first time and say, oh, by the way, the rate on payday, by the way, afterwards, and say, oh no, the rate for this is 100 pesos higher. Oh, but they'll negotiate it. Oh, yeah. They're the nice guy now. They negotiated the official rate, which doesn't exist. Manipulative people, I mean, they tried to gaslight us. They tried to gaslight me and my wife. They tried to gaslight us into thinking that somehow we couldn't survive without them. If we don't agree to include the commute in the work time and let them mess around here getting ready for 20 minutes, also on work time, when, I mean, their work day is already only 7 hours. 7 hours of actual work. Then we won't find people. We won't find anyone else. No, they'd actually also intimidated the people who are working for me now, that I didn't want them working for me. That I didn't want women working for me. Or they tell them, no, there's too many people already, or this. And these guys also felt like they had to go through this guy. This one guy had actually kind of intimidated his way in the community to make people think that he was handling things for us. And that's It's patterns I've seen. But I think I say this just because I want people to be aware of it. But you can overcome it. But you've got to be on the ground. You've got to have your boots on the ground and have the knowledge yourself. Learn the knowledge yourself. And that's actually where I think things started to come apart. When I started to seek knowledge myself. Hopefully we've got this right this time. Hopefully. We'll see you next time.